I woke up on Cape Cod on the beach on the Atlantic Ocean, and luckily a cop hadn't come in the middle of the night to kick me out of my spot. Today I'm heading west out of Cape Cod and towards Rhode Island. I've never been there and I don't know what to expect. Cape Cod was really nice. It was a really nice change of pace after the hectic 2 days I had in Boston. The cell service out here was actually pretty good. The roads are really nice. The people are really nice. And I'd love to spend more time here, but I gotta get to a bigger city where I can find some more Doordash opportunities. It's really important that I keep the van organized, otherwise it gets really overwhelming really quick. So I try to spend 10 or 15 minutes every morning putting away my bedding and organizing everything to where it needs to go. So I've decided to check out Providence, Rhode Island. It's the biggest city, and I'm gonna do some biking, check it out, and see how I feel after that. Maybe I'll go to Connecticut. After a little nap in the back of the van, it's time to go and do some Doordash. Kayla?
Cards going out to seniors, and they can't even get the cards out, so they're gonna.
And here's where I slept last night after getting back from doing door dashing. Right out front of this nice old church. So today I'm gonna head to New Haven, Connecticut, check out the Yale campus, and I'm gonna edit this video, and that's about it. I really like living in my tiny van, but there are some things like eating and cooking that I just really don't like. So I recently got this new cook stove. It runs on these butane cans. I don't know how long these butane cans are gonna last, but it's so much better than what I had before. So before I had this one, I had this style camping stove that just screws on top of these isobutane hiking fuel canisters. And this was my cooking pot setup for the first couple months I lived in the van. Now I've upgraded a little bit with a real pot, and I also now have a real full-sized pan. Generally I try to keep everything contained in this one basket, And then for other cooking supplies, I like to keep in the bottom of this one. So some other kitchen stuff I have is like coffee filters, trash bags, silverware. I have my other smaller pot pan. I've got some tea, a spatula, some knives, a coffee thing, some plastic bags, measuring cups. It does a good job at keeping ice. Right now I only have milk in there. I would say 3 days I get out of ice on this sometimes, and that's really the biggest issue when it comes to living in a van, doing the cooler style, is that you have to constantly be thinking about where you're getting ice, how much ice do I have, is my food wet, and it's just really not an enjoyable experience. I'm at the Star Market here outside of Boston, so I'll show you a couple of these simple items that I like to get for quick meals in the van. I like to get fruit, hummus, mate, raisin bran, beans. Got some bread. You gotta have some candy. Now I just gotta load up this old cooler. So there you go. That's about as full as it'll get. And I use my grocery bags as trash bags. And the world keeps on turning. One of the newer additions to my van is this newfangled fishnet contraption. It holds all the big things that I don't want to break, like my chips.
Man, it's smelling good as hell too.
Hell yeah. It's not so much the cooking that's hard as much as it is the storage, the preparation, and everything around cooking, like doing the dishes. I don't have a sink in here. All I really have is a bucket and some gallon jugs of water. So doing dishes is very hard, and the storage of meat products with your other food gets to be really hard. The one thing I've seen in other Transit Connects is that people build a pop-out cooking space on the back side of these doors that just kind of can pop down, and then you can stand up outside and cook. I'd like to build one of those.
Moving to the same beat, or you're.
So another common inconvenience I go through is where to get water. Generally I go to gas station places where you pay 50 cents a gallon. This is a much better option. Here is a prime example. Dishes from last night. Yuck. Here's a fun little tidbit about the shelf that I made in my van. The only thing that it's designed to fit is one of these gallon jugs. Look at that. I could put 2 in there. I would go and dump this outside right now, but I'm in a national park and that is definitely frowned upon. Hashtag leave no trace. Dishes 101. Soap. Put it in there. Scrub, scrub. I just had this cool realization that if you put a little bit of sand in here when you're scrubbing your pot, it's like an abrasive sponge. Life hacks.
How can I help you?